The tone came back at 3:14 in the morning after 200 years of silence. A single pure note at 1420 megahertz, the exact frequency we'd stopped hoping to hear. Every screen in the array lit at once. Dr. Mara Vance stopped breathing. She was the only person still listening. The old SETI outpost had been mothballed for decades, its dish rusting under desert stars. Mara kept it running out of stubbornness, out of grief, out of a refusal to admit the universe might be empty. There had been one signal before, generations ago, a strong, narrow burst near the hydrogen line, 72 seconds long, gone before anyone could confirm it. They called it a fluke. It never repeated. It broke 100 careers, including her grandmother's. Nature is loud, but nature is messy. It never sings on one clean frequency. This tone was surgical, a needle of energy where physics says there should be static. Only a mind builds something that pure. Mara knew it the way you know a knock at the door. She did the math with shaking hands. The source sat roughly 100 light years out. Whatever sent this had spoken a century ago. Any answer she gave would take another 100 years to arrive. A single hello, and a 200-year wait for the reply. Then it did what the first one never had. It repeated. Same note, same coordinates, a heartbeat pulse tightening into pattern. Not weather, not a satellite, not the ghost of some passing phone. She ran every filter she had, praying to disprove it. Interference is the usual villain. Our own machines shouting back at us. She checked the radar logs, the orbital catalogs, the aircraft overhead. Nothing lined up. By dawn, she had eliminated every human explanation, and the only one left made her hands go cold. The protocol was clear, and older than she was. Verify first, tell the world, and never, never answer on behalf of humanity alone. She notified the partner observatories. Within hours, 3 continents confirmed it. The word came back one syllable at a time. Real. So we prepared to speak. Committees convened overnight. Mathematicians built a greeting from prime numbers and the hydrogen line, the same handshake we'd once beamed from Arecibo. A message with our position folded inside it. Our address, written in the only language the stars might read. But at the last moment, the room went quiet. Someone asked the question no one wanted to own. We know how to say hello. We don't know who's listening. And once you tell a stranger where you live, you can never untell them. Mara pulled up the linguist's analysis. The alien tone had structure, layered harmonics, meaning we could almost taste. The translators fed it through every language on Earth. And in every one of them, the machines resolved the same 2 words. Don't answer. English, Mandarin, Arabic, Swahili. It didn't matter which alphabet. The same command surfaced. Not a greeting, not a map. A warning, sent by someone who had learned something we hadn't. Someone who wanted us to stay quiet and would not say why. An old idea from an old novel surfaced in the debate. The dark forest. The universe as a black wood. Every civilization a hunter holding its breath. In the dark, the one who calls out first is the one who reveals the shape of their throat. Decades ago, a man in a wheelchair had said it plainly. Advertising our existence might be reckless. He compared it to native peoples greeting the ships that came to conquer them. Contact, he warned, did not end well for the ones who waved from the shore. The world split in a single night. One side begged to reply. We are not alone, they said, and loneliness has always been the greater danger. The other side pointed at the whisper and asked a colder question. Why is our first friend so afraid? Mara understood the physics better than the shouting did. To listen costs nothing. Photons arrive. You catch them. No one learns you exist. To transmit is to strike a match in the dark. Detection is safe. Answering is the only act that can be seen. And suddenly the 200 years made a different kind of sense. Maybe the source hadn't gone quiet because the distance was long. Maybe it had gone quiet on purpose, spoken once, warned once, and then vanished back into its own careful dark. Mara thought of her grandmother, who had chased the first signal until it ruined her. She had wanted, more than anything, for someone out there to answer. Now her granddaughter sat at the same console and the sky was finally answering, begging her not to. The transmit array was still armed from the drafting. One command would send our greeting, our primes, our position, screaming across 100 years of night. Her cursor hovered over it. Around her, the argument raged on. In the booth, it was only her and the switch. She wanted to answer. God, she wanted to. Every listening ear, every empty night, every laugh she'd swallowed when people called her work a waste, all of it strained toward one word back: to not be alone, to prove the sky was full. Then, as her finger tightened, a second signal bloomed on the display, fainter, further from another patch of sky entirely. The same pure tone, the same two words in every tongue: don't answer. And a third, and a fourth. The dark was full of warnings. Not one neighbor, many. A whole sky of civilizations, each of them hushed, each passing the same message down the same frequency, like survivors whispering in a burning house. Every voice that had ever learned to speak had learned, first, to be quiet. Mara lifted her finger from the key. She powered the transmit array down, watched its ready light fade to nothing, and let the silence stand. It wasn't surrender. It was the first thing every species out there had ever agreed on. And now, so did she. For a century, we thought the terror was being alone in the universe. We had it backwards. The terror was being found. Mara went on listening and never again answered. The phone still rings across the stars, patient, endless. The question is only ever yours. Do you pick up?